Now, Ms. Lunacek on behalf of the Greens for 2.5 minutes. Thank you, President. Minister, Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, hate and hate crimes begin in people's heads and are expressed in language and become visible in acts of violence. So the fight against xenophobia, anti-Semitism, anti-Roma sentiments and so on have to be tackled at the level of hate speech. I mean, you can see posters and you can see racist language in song lyrics as well, for example. Xenophobia, anti-Semitism, violence against the Roma, against the LGBT community, these are problems which are on the increase. Let me give you some examples. In Hungary, a prominent member of the Jobbik party asked for a Jewish list because he claimed that the Jews were a security risk, and we've seen difficulties arising elsewhere too. In Hungary, one of the co-founders of Fidesz, Mr. Zsolt Bayer, has said that Roma are unfit to exist and has compared them to animals. And in fact, in Lithuania, there was a poll where more than 90,000 people throughout the EU were asked about their situations. 25% of them across the EU said that they had been subjected to physical attacks. And in fact, if you look at the alarming rise of homophobic and transphobic crimes, you realize something needs to be done. But racist crimes are being carried out in other countries. In Sweden, for example, only 7% of racist crimes are actually solved, compared to solving rate of 17%. And as I say, there are racist crimes taking place everywhere. I'm very glad that the Irish presidency has taken an initiative, but more is needed. Mechanisms are required to have best practices compared, but I don't think we should allow ourselves to be open to accusations from accession countries where we demand compliance with standards. We can't open ourselves up to accusations of failing to meet those standards ourselves. So what about perhaps a Copenhagen Commission? We have the Copenhagen dilemma, because everything has to be done to comply before a country can join the EU, but but they don't have to keep this up afterwards. Thank you.
On behalf of the ECR group, I call now colleague Timothy Kirkhope for 1 minute.
President, Commissioner, racism, xenophobia and hate crime has at times formed a dark part of Europe's history. Yet the fight against it is something which lies at the very heart of what the